Hello? Hello? Is your working? Mine's not. Test, test. Mics aren't working. Hello? 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 Is your working? Hello? It was working earlier when I came in, so I muted it because I could hear it. Hello? No? Everybody else? Hello? Test. Hold on for a second. Hello? It worked a minute ago. Hello? Hello? It was working a minute ago. Jinxes is what I just heard, Jackson. About getting out early. You jinxed us. Hello? Hello? Nope. That 110 volume, you got it on. Testing. Test. Hello? Hello? Is it working now? Hello? Hello?
Hello? That working?
Can you hear? There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Hello?
Hello? There we go. Do we just go with buzzing? Yes.
Hello? Is it working? Hello?
Hello.
No? It's not working? Thank you.
All good?
Is yours working?
No. Testing, testing. I don't hear. I don't hear anything. There you go. I'm in business. Let's talk loud.
Hello? Nope, it's gone.
It's all or nothing.
Annie, is there anything underneath there for these mics? Switch underneath there?
Hello?
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 Oh, got you, Esther.
Hello.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
That work?
Hello?
Best meeting ever. It's gone again. Yeah, but what are we going to do about recording it? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Hello?
Testing. I think it is.
Hello.
Hear me
I
now?
did then.
Hello? Hello? What happened? Wasn't earlier. I don't know. Speak into it.
Testing.
There you go.
Hello?
Off. Need Jackie's off. All right. Working. What happened to the cordless one? Aaron. Try it. Are we ready? Good. Josh, you ready? All right. Are y'all ready? I'll call to order the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, March 24, 2022, 6 p.m. I'd like to invite Charles Cochran, the pastor of East Ridge Church of Christ, if he'll come forward, provide our invocation, and lead us in our pledge, if everyone will stand.
Our loving Father and God in heaven, we're thankful for the blessings of living in this community, this city. We're thankful for the ones who are sitting on this commission tonight. Father, for Mayor Williams and all of those who are here as leaders of this community. Holy Father, we pray that you would be with the situation that all of us are concerned about in the Ukraine, in the Russia situation, and the devastation and the death that is occurring in the Ukraine. Father, we pray for a swift end to this conflict. Be with those who are in positions of authority, that the decisions that are made will be that which will bring peace to that region once again. We pray for our nation. We pray, dear Lord, that you will help us to be a righteous nation, realizing, Father, that a righteous nation, exalting you, that you will bless. Father, we pray that you'll bless this community, that you'll bless this city, and that you'll bless, Father, that we will always seek to honor you in everything that we do. In Christ's name. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Mayor Williams.
Here.
Vice Mayor Chauncey.
Here.
Councilmember Cagle.
Here.
Councilmember Helton. Here. Councilmember Witt. Senator Dorsey.
Here.
Harry Cash here for Mr. Litchford.
Thank you. I appreciate you sitting in for Mr. Litchford. Mr. Cash, thank you. At this time, we'll move to item B. I would like to ask Honorable Judge Wilson if he will come forward. He would like to address the council.
Capacity usually always interesting perspective to look. I could see you sitting in my chair, but that's okay.
I can say it the other way around too.
That's true.
I love it.
You don't want to be up there.
No, exactly.
Anyway, so as you all know, of course, last August, your sitting judge resigned, and it came about that you all asked me or somebody if I would fill in for him, and I agreed to do that. And at the time, I wasn't here when you took the action, but I had told people I didn't think that I would want to run for office when it came up for election in this office. I hadn't done it in a long time. I think Judge Helton had been using Judge McVeigh a lot, so I haven't been here as much. I used to sit a lot for Judge Reingold way back in the years, but anyway, but I came and I've enjoyed it immensely. It's a challenge. There were some things that needed to be addressed. The job, it just needed some attention. It needed some love. It needed some serious judging. I've grown kind of attached to the people, the police officers. I've enjoyed it. And as a result of that, I guess I decided that I would like to do it. But I know, and I talked to Council Member Helton about this, and I told her that, so, I didn't want to mislead anybody into thinking that I took this position under the assumption about everybody that I would not run, and then use that as a springboard to get an advantage. That was not my intent at the time. It was a pretty, like an emergency thing, because Judge Helton moved away, and been a lot of absences even before then, so you all needed a judge, and I've been a judge for a long time, so I took it at that time. But anyway, I'd like to run again. Not again, I just said I would like to run. And I've talked to the attorneys, both cities, and with some of the attorneys with the state of Tennessee about doing it. And there doesn't need to be any legal roadblock for that. I'm a part-time judge here for something in the courts of the city of Collegeville. So we have different rules as far as the jobs and hold. So, but I wanted to tell you all that, and I wanted, if you all had any reservations, any of the council members, the mayor, the vice mayor, about me doing that it would somehow be unfair, that I had misled people, and you felt that it would not be properly to run. If anybody, feels that way, I'd like to know, because I don't want to feel like I've deceived anybody about the advantage. So, I've talked to several of you, and what I've heard doesn't seem to be that it was done anyway. Anyway, so I just, if anybody has any, if any of you all have any reservations, I'd certainly like to answer those questions about, if you will call it sort of my change of heart. But anyway, it's a challenging job. East Ridge, much more so than Collegedale, we're kind of, out there in Happy Valley, and we're surrounded by Bradley County and Ottawa, which is incorporated in Georgia, to the south of us, but you all are surrounded by the city of Chattanooga. So the crime that I deal with here is quite a bit different, just because of your proximity and your population and so forth. It's certainly more of a challenge to deal with. It's a higher workload of cases, and it's a challenging job. I like the challenge. I appreciate the challenge, and I'd like to continue to do it. And one of the things, and again, I've mentioned this to some of you all, the compensation for judges, we can only be adjusted once every 8 years, and it's set at that time, for the duration of our term. And that's one of the things I would like to, and again, you all can discuss that and ask me questions about it. I've been the judge in Collegeville for 32 years. No problems out there, no complaints. I haven't been reprimanded by the state or censored for doing anything wrong. Not that I'm perfect, but I've got kind of a clean slate. And this is an important job. It's an important job. Every time we go to our conferences, which we have twice a year for justices, appeal court judges, they'll always come and tell us that it's a balancing, and it's something that I have done a long time, and I'd like to continue to do. But I have a practice. When I'm here on Tuesday and Thursday, I'm away from my practice. I have an office overhead that keeps on going when I'm in court on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so I think the compensation for the judge, I think it's something that should be addressed. You all, if you have any questions about that, any input that you would like for me to share, I know we have talked about it briefly.
Yes, sir. Council, do you have any questions?
I'd like to thank you for your service, first of all, and for getting everything back on track. Officers,
Anyone else?
Yeah, Mr. Wilson, thank you for stepping in here. I don't have any reservations. Nice of you spoke to the light. Been very good about you, so I appreciate you coming up here and clearing the air.
I appreciate that. You know, when I started, Judge, I was very young. I was just telling, I forget who it was, when I ran for office in 1990, I had my son in my arms, kind of as a prop at the poll, you know, so they think I'm a good father guy. And now he's practicing law with me. So it has been a long time. And, you know, the good thing about experience is hopefully you get better as you go. Because I'm a lot different judge than I was when I was young. I think you learn. Hopefully you get better. Get educated. Get experience. Hopefully in the end, I've been blessed with good health. I'm not young. I'm blessed with good health. I look forward to fulfilling the requirements of my life.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
I just like to say, all I've heard is good things about you in the court. Like when we appointed you, I don't remember anything being said about you not being able to rerun, so I have no problem with it.
I would just like to say I'm glad to hear this. Somebody wants to be quick. Thank you. Everybody out there, listen to that. He's on its way
Yeah.
up.
You know, they really, you know, people, they're nice to judges. And I realize a lot of times they're not nice to everybody else, but, you know, they treat you nicely. The officers are protective of you. The clerks are helpful. We have a lady who makes us brownies and coffee cake and brings it every week. You know, so it kind of feels, you know, it's like a family. You know, we come here, we have food together, we work together, we laugh, and we have a good time. You know, we have felt, and I didn't know that when I came in exactly what the environment was. So anyway, I found it very welcoming and supportive, and it's just been fun.
Well, I too would like to convey a heartfelt thank you. You stepped in a dire need that we had, and you stepped up and you overachieved. We were very appreciative of what you do and how you conduct in the court. We hear great things like everyone has said, and I'm very excited when you reached out to me and said you were interested in running. So thank you again for all that you're doing for us.
Sounds excellent.
One of the things, yes, ma'am. That's what I was about to say. I would like to go ahead and get something, and I'll have something put on the agenda so we can discuss that openly here on the council about reviewing and deciding what we'd like to do with the compensation. So I'll get that on a future agenda for us to discuss.
So So we're a judge all the time in our community. They stress that you have to be careful what you do in the community because you're a judge all the time. People know that. So you just have to be careful what you say.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you again. Appreciate you coming. I think you've got their support too. All right, we'll move to item 4, approval of the minutes for March 10th, 2022 council meeting. I assume everyone's had an opportunity to review those, and I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Vice Mayor Chauncey. Do we have any discussion or corrections? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton, Councilmember Witt, Mayor Williams.
Yes. All right, we'll move to item 5, communications from citizens. This is an opportunity for any citizen or business owner that has it's an opportunity for them to come forward, address the council with any questions, concerns, accolades, and they'll have 5 minutes. I'm not sure if anyone signed in. Thank you, sir. But anyway, if you'd like to come forward, now is your opportunity. If you'd like to come from the floor. You'll state your name and address for the record, sir.
Hello, I guess this works. My name is Marvin Scott. I live at 1041 South Seminole, and I want to address council concerning the construction of the apartments, signed Tom's Carpet and custom design awning. I sent to the council a video, and I hope everyone had a chance to review that. I know I got responses from two, from the mayor and from Mr. Cagle. It's important before anybody makes a decision on moving forward, and I understand that it's been postponed, tabled for a while. It's important to review that video because it shows the amount of water coming off the ridge just in my house. And that's just like a 5-second video. And I was talking to one of the people that represents the construction. There's not going to be a holding tank large enough to hold that water. It's going to pool in the lower lying areas, and it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem with Tom's Carpet. I also sent an attachment with that. Is a picture of the flood zone. The purple area, and again, I don't know if everyone had a chance to look at that. The purple area represents 3 feet or more of flooding. So if you look at that map, I got it from Google Maps and I just clicked on flood. The area behind Tom's Carpet is a flood zone of over 3 feet. The area beside the mini storage area, which is probably the lowest lying area, that's a flood zone. So everyone who has a mini storage unit, that's going to flood. The area behind custom awnings, that's in a flood zone too. That's going to flood. And then I also brought up the fact that the area on the other side of Ringo Road from this supposed building site, there was a mudslide this last year, and they had to close the tunnel because water was coming off the ridge at such a fast rate. It just washed everything away, and it was because the lady cleared a little area off that owns that. She cleared a little area off behind that where the water comes down, and it just caused the water to come down forcefully. That's what the construction people are going to be looking at if they move forward with the project. They're going to dig it out. Mr. City can attest that there's standing water there right now. So once they dig that out and put a parking lot, that that water's gonna go downhill, which water does, and it's gonna pool in the area next to the mini mart, next to Tom's Carpet, and next to the awning company. And so, if you're worried about traffic, once you come over that ridge, that small hill coming towards Ringo Road on South Seminole, there's a dip right there, and then you come right back up to Ringo Road. Traffic's going to be stopped at that one area. When it floods, there's no way that the cars are going to be passing through that area. That's another thing that no one's thinking about. When the water has to come, go somewhere. There's one little drainage receptacle right there in front of the awning company, and that's it. And if you look at the area right next to the mini storage area, that always has standing water. I mean, you could probably go by there tonight if you wanted to, and there'd be standing water right there beside the mini storage area. And then I also want to ask the council members, would you want someone building an apartment complex in your neighborhood when there's a possibility of the crime rate going up in your neighborhood, the property values dropping in your neighborhood, and then if you ever intended, and when I built my house, I wanted to live in East Ridge the rest of my life. But if someone builds an apartment complex in my neighborhood, I'm not so sure I want to live here anymore. And you're going to have, and if you did a crime study of the neighborhoods that have apartment complexes, you can ask the police department, the crime rate is going to go up significantly. And the construction company says, well, we're going to put security, a gated community. It'll be a gated community. That's not going to keep the crime rate down. That'll just keep the area that we're talking about in a fence. People that are in there, once the owner is not able to rent that at the rate he wants, his value is going to go down, and he's going to want to get Section 8 in there. So, sure, you'll have a security fence around it, but that's not keeping people from going outside that security fence and committing crimes. So that's like saying, well, I'm going to put a Band-Aid on this gaping chest wound and hope that takes care of the problem. But I don't think it's... and I don't know if it's appropriate for me to ask if everyone's had a chance to review the emails. Is that an appropriate question? Water just coming off my retaining wall. Like I said, that's a 5-second video. That goes on for 2 or 3 days. Every heavy rain. Now, there's water coming off there now, but it's minimal, and I have runoff. And I'm not the only one. The house on either side, and I haven't polled. Bob Johnson lives on that road just before me. I haven't asked Bob Johnson about his water situation, if he has any runoff. But the guy that lives to the right and the left of me both have water runoff. The guy if I'm facing South Seminole, the guy to the right, he has just as much water coming off of his. Now, if they start digging in up the road, cutting into the bank up the road, I think that they're going to see a lot of water problems because that water comes at my house. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Do we have anyone else who'd like to come forward?
My main concern, my daughter owns a company. She has employees right inside that wall. Probably was there a landslide or somebody get hurt. That's my biggest concern. Guys to consider that because, you know, I don't want anybody to get killed in my building. Thank you.
Sure. Do we have anyone else who would like to come forward? No one. We'll move on to communications from council members. Start on this side. Councilmember
I don't have anything. at
Cagle.
this time.
Vice Mayor. Councilmember Hilton. Councilmember Witt. All right. I have a few things, as I normally do. I want to remind everyone, and I'd posted it online, that I'm going to conduct a border region legislation discussion Monday, March the 28th at 6 p.m. at Local Coffee. Everyone's invited. I'm going to talk about the border region legislation and how we here at the city are enabling that, the process that we conduct, and how it is expenses are collected, how payout is done. So that will be 6 p.m. Local Coffee this coming Monday, March the 28th. I'd also like to mention that we've had posted this also on social media. Our Pioneer Frontier, if you've noticed, and if you listen to the kids, it was awesome coming in this evening, listen to the kids out on the playground. So we've got our new playground open. We opened it last Saturday. We are going to do a grand opening to memorialize the event. We also are working on getting the hand prints that the children that we've been taken down, they're going, I believe I know they've started. I don't know if they've completely got all of them up. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that is awesome to see that going up. But we have tentatively planned that opening ceremony, and I'm going to ask the council if they would like to stick with that time and date, or if they'd like to adjust it. Tentatively, we discussed Friday, April 1st at 2 p.m. My question to the council is, would you want to move that to maybe a Saturday at, say, 10, so we have some more participation, or do you want to leave it Friday afternoon at 2? What's the will of the council? Like that? Okay. So we'll do the grand opening Saturday. That would be April 2nd, and we said, what, about 10 a.m.? Good with everyone? Okay. Not too early, but also it gives you some afternoon too. All right, cool. So we will send that press release out, adjusting that. So we'll do that on Saturday the 2nd. The other thing I mentioned the last several weeks is Chattanooga Cruise In. That is coming Saturday, April the 2nd. That is going to be one of the largest cruise ins in the entire region. There will be thousands and thousands of hot rods, muscle cars, trucks that will pour into Camp Jordan. That is, if you haven't been there, you need to stop by and see it. It is amazing. There's no charge to attend. It's free to the public. It will happen rain or shine. So come down and see this amazing cruise in by Coker Tire. That's Saturday, April the 2nd. The following Saturday and Sunday will be Bugapalooza. They're coming back to East Ridge, so we're very excited to have them return. That'll be a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday, the 9th and the 10th. There, I do believe there is a small charge per person to get in, and then there's a registration per vehicle. So that'll be awesome event as well, following weekend. Then got this information today, Swing into Spring at McDonald Farm Park. So this is an event that Hamilton County is doing Saturday, April the 16th from 10 to 2:30. It's going to be a fun-filled day of all ages. There'll be an exhibition game from some vintage baseball. There'll be some music, face painting, inflatables, cornhole, petting zoo, snow cones, kettle corn. And then there'll be an Easter egg hunt beginning at 2 p.m. for the elementary age children and younger. So they need to bring their Easter baskets. So that's something that's coming up in the next few weeks as well. And again, that is Saturday, April the 16th. Then The other thing I wanted to mention is that we are having a huge event that starts Thursday, April the 28th. It's going to run through Sunday, May 8th. It is called Thrillville. It is I would say, carnival type event that is coming to Camp Jordan. It is a very reputable carnival that has came to us and approached us, and so they're going to be here for 5 to 10 Mondays through Friday and 1 to 11 on Saturday and Sunday. They are very strict, and I say strict. There's no weapons being allowed. There's also no underage drop-off. So this is going to be, a very well-run event. There's going to be this organization has had their carnivals at places like Atlanta Motor Speedway, Hank Aaron Stadium, Memorial Stadium in Baton Rouge. They've done the Kansas City State Fair. They've had a huge fair in San Jose, California, and in Nashville. So they're a very, very good event that we're proud to have them here. You met with them as well. Was there like anything you'd like to add about Thrillville?
It was a very impressive presentation that they gave us on that one. You said, and it's very reputable company. And we got some of the, like you said, pictures and stuff of some of the other sites they have had this carnival at. Carnival's not even the best word.
Yeah, I know.
But that's about the easiest one to use. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. End of the month.
Yes.
Next one.
So then the last thing that I have, and I'm going to pass this out to the council. So something that we've talked about, it's very near and dear to my heart. We have conducted a roadway survey analysis. Correct. And the sheet that I handed out has got a list of 45 streets, roads, and they're ranked worst. I wouldn't say to the best because this is not all of our streets, but this is the worst 45 that we have ranked based upon the severity. We've not had a repaving schedule or program in place for quite some time. And as you can tell when you drive our streets, you realize that real quick. We have had an amendment that we added some additional funds. Not only for salary stabilization, but part of those funds was for roadway improvements and resurfacing. We also,
About $700,000.
that combined with some that we already had planned, we have about $700,000 allocated for road resurfacing. I took the analysis and I broke this down into two buckets or two breakdowns here. You'll see from the first 9, I categorized those and totaled those up in the last column, and that's about $250,000. From that, if you look at the next 8, that brings the total up to about $600,000. I would like to put something on the agenda as well for the council to discuss us taking action and moving onto a road servicing opportunity and committing to get some of these roads repaired. So I wanted to hand this analysis out to you. I wanted to give you my thoughts on this and let you know that I plan to have something on the agenda so we can discuss this openly and see if we can start moving forward with some resurfacing of our streets in the city of East Ridge. Any discussion at this point?
All the streets that you went and looked at, or did you go look at East Ridge?
All of East Ridge was
All of East
analyzed.
Ridge. There was an analysis done by Ace Engineering, and I don't remember the name of the machine. Roadbotics, thank you. And it went and it surveyed all of the streets within East Ridge. And based on that, it gave them a grade. And so as you see here, as the mayor mentioned, starting with number 1, that's the worst street based upon the survey of the robotics in East Ridge, and it goes upwards from there. It was done in a very scientific way with no bias, no political leanings or anything. It's all straight by the survey of by the engineering company.
And I will say, go and Google Maps and look at some of these streets. It may not be the latest and greatest, but it'll show you how bad some of these are. So and again, out to the right is a cumulative total. Now that is prior to all the fuel increases that we've had. So that's definitely going to impact this and raise the cost of this significantly. So that's why I broke it into two sections there, one at about $250 and one at $591. So we know they're going to be higher than that with the fuel cost that's increased. But I want to get this on the table for us to talk about, not on the table, on the dais, to talk about, so we can proactively start working on some of our streets in the city. Anyone else? Any comments? All right. That's all that I have at this time. I will now hand it off to the city manager, Dorsey.
Thank you, Mayor. You've gone back to your ways of stealing items off my agenda, so I only have one big one left, but thank you. I'm very excited about the playground, and April 2nd at 10 o'clock is going to be a very big event, like you said. All we've heard all week are all the kids over there screaming, playing, having a great time, and it's good to see. I was contacted by the Election Commission a couple weeks ago, and they are moving the polling sites back to the election sites, that is, back to the precincts or the spots where they were previously. 2 years ago with COVID, they moved everything down to Camp Jordan Arena. And the Election Commission this year is putting all those sites back in their previous spots. So you have one at the American Legion, right? Two here at the community center and one at the Methodist Church. That's 4. The reason I'm bringing this up is, if you remember 2 years ago when we did this, we changed the requirements and some of the rules and things we needed for the tent lottery that goes on. That was down at Camp Jordan, which will be coming back to City Hall here. So at the next meeting, I will have a revised plan to incorporate some of the couple things we changed down at that worked well down at Camp Jordan Arena, along with the old rules that we had for the tent lottery, and present that to you all for approval at the next meeting. If any of you have any suggestions or anything I need to make sure I look at for bringing it back to City Hall, just please let me know.
I think I don't remember the number of precincts. It seemed like there's we can confirm that, but you do have the accurate locations. So for the polling places, yeah, forget the precincts. It is the American Legion, it is City Hall, and it is the church, Methodist Church. Yes, sir.
And I did confirm they are sending out the voter registration cards again to notify everyone that the sites have changed. It's not just us, there's other places in the county also that have changed back to their previous spots as well. And that's all I have.
Sure. All right, we'll move to old business. So item A, ordinance number 1160.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to amend the zoning regulations and the zoning map of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, so as to rezone the properties located at 1023 South Seminole Drive, currently zoned R1 Residential District, and an unaddressed property in the 3000 block of Ringgold Road, currently zoned O1 Office District, D2 General Commercial District Tax Map 156NF 015.02 to R3 Apartment District.
Thank you, sir. I believe, and you may, I don't know if you want to address yourself, or do you want me to just go ahead and mention that you're representing the property owner and you would like to have this postponed?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So, yes, so the representative for the property owner would like to have this postponed until April 14th, so they have an opportunity to have community input session. So I'll make a motion to table this to April the 14th. Made a motion. I have a second by Councilmember Hilton. Roll call. Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Johnson, Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton, Councilmember Witt, Mayor Williams.
Yes, thank you.
Also, just real quick, Mayor, if you don't mind me adding, so we have the date set at the community center for
Okay.
April the 6th at 6 p.m. So we'll have all the renderings. We'll have the traffic engineer there, myself, other staff members from AC Engineering to answer as many questions as possible and try to help work through some of the concerns that everyone has. Like a new one tonight was a little bit of the flooding issue and how it showed up on the map. So I want to explore that a little bit, simply because generally throughout the city, your base floods, anything below 678, 679, that's kind of where your 100-foot area is, and it's 970 there. So I want to kind of see what that map looks like to make sure we're kind of all talking about the same thing. So they do have a significant amount of runoff up there. So obviously that'll be a topic that we're going to discuss, and we're working through a lot of that right now. But I'm hoping that we can provide some good information. Don't know that I'm going to make everybody extremely happy with the outcome, but we're going to do our best to provide all the information that we can, so at least everybody has the correct information for an informed decision.
Okay, and to reiterate that is going to be April the 6th, 6 p.m. here at the community center.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move to item B, ordinance number 1161. Yes, sir.
Who is going to be responsible to notifying the citizens for this?
So actually, the way the community meetings work, we will post a sign, make a public announcement here, and generally it's driven by the opposition. So I'd say Mr. City and the groups that are here will probably contact several people, but we'll put signs and stuff up on the sign. Yeah, if you want to let them know, Councilman, and then if they have questions, you can forward it to me, and I can make sure I get the information to them and they can share it.
Good question, sir. Thank you. All right, we'll move to ordinance number 1161.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to amend the zoning regulations and the zoning map of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, so as to rezone the property located at 1503 McDonald Road, tax map 169LM019, and 1509 McDonald Road, tax map number 169MH018, from C1 Tourism Commercial District and C2 General Commercial District to M3 Warehouse and Wholesale District.
Will be the second and final reading.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, thank you. We covered this over the last meeting, and then Planning Commission that was able to vote successfully to get this to the City Council. We're excited about the project. Obviously, over the years, you all are well aware of the property that's in question, the concerns that's been addressed by the neighbors, and we feel like this is one of the better uses for the property, simply because it's going to be low traffic, low hazard. The decor can be appeasing, so not atrocious to look at. So really, the big concerns over the years we've all heard in that neighborhood is, everybody heading to Georgia. Currently, that road's still out, to my knowledge. Hopefully, it stays that way. But we cut down on the traffic. We provide a use that's more advantageous that other people will use and utilize outside of what's currently there. So I think it could be a good opportunity to kind of change directions on that property.
Thank you, sir. I'll entertain a motion for ordinance number 1161. A motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Councilmember Helton. Do we have any discussion?
Yes, Mayor. I know at the last meeting I had probably should have mentioned it at the Planning Commission meeting. Applicant didn't have it.
No, that's correct. They want to build a building that is really something that area can be proud of. Now, the entire design standards can be somewhat difficult to navigate for this type of building. And I don't want to quote it. Michael's a lot better at that than I am. But if you have so many, linear foot, then you have to have dimensional breakouts. Is that 40 or 60? 60. I was close. So some of that, but actually, putting a nice facade on the building and things like that, the owner doesn't have a problem with that. He doesn't want just a metal building. So.
Kind of the impression that I got during the plan. I'd still like to move that we amend the ordinance. That it be an indoor storage facility. Current architectural design.
All right, we got a motion to amend. Do I have a second?
But I'd also like to ask a question about the buffer. How much buffer are we going to have to the residents?
So how it's laid out, the general provisions of the M3 warehouse district, they set a smaller scale versus what the landscape ordinance was. The landscape ordinance will always supersede any type of zoning ordinance, so you'd have a 30-foot buffer for the residential area. Also in the general provisions of the M3 district, they add a 6-foot fence in that as well that can be 50% opaque or solid at that point. Now, the landscape ordinance does not add that in there, only the general provisions of the M3 district do. Because it's very, usually when you get a district like that next to residential, you want it as private as possible all year round. So.
And it is rare that type of facility doesn't have a fence.
Yes, yes.
I'd also like to say I think it's a good opportunity to make sure that the building's going to be aesthetically on the neighbors.
So really, even around Hamilton County, these type of projects is popping up, and then all the way, just last week driving back and forth to Nashville. A lot of these concepts popping up in other areas, and it was everything from brick, some stone, some really nice metal panels, and then complemented by some stone. So there's a lot of different architectural and design opportunities for the building. That doesn't totally extend. I still believe that we can accomplish the vision that the city may have, but also provide a quality product that everybody should be.
The confirmation I want to have on the amendment is the design standard is to adhere to the
M3 warehouse district and the landscape ordinance.
Whatever our current architectural design standards are.
Yes, that was mentioned prior to that, yeah.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to clarify that amendment. So we have the amendment, we have a motion for the amendment by Vice Mayor Chauncey and a second by Councilmember Cagle. Is there any discussion on the amendment? I see that. Roll call, Ms. Milton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton, Councilmember Witt, Mayor Williams.
Yes. Amendment passed. Now,
Mayor, I'm sorry
yes.
to interrupt. Do we need to go back and move to amend the motion from the first reading?
no, I think, no. It was,
Discuss it with Mark a little bit.
Mark and I talked about this, and it's called pass the motion on.
correct.
Now move to fire going back. Have the motion.
Right. We just passed the amendments. Now we'll now do a roll call on the actual ordinance itself. Any discussion on the ordinance itself? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Milden.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton, Councilmember Witt,
Yes. Ordinance 1161 amended, second and final reading. We'll move to item C, ordinance number 1162.
Thanks, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. As Mr. Cash said, this is the second final reading of this budget amendment. Ms. Qualls went over this at our last meeting. This includes the purchase of a police vehicle that we're paying for using funds from the general fund plus insurance proceeds for this vehicle that wrecked. That was not the police's fault. I'm gonna throw that out there. We also, as you remember, the last meeting, we purchased a truck for the street department using some funds from State Street Aid. We also show on here a $15,000 amendment for fire for the donation for the equipment from Mr. Tim Boyd. And with those different items, and then also the purchase, we talked about a garbage truck for solid waste fund. So as I said, Ms. Qualls went through this last time on pinch hitting for today. She decided to go to Florida. So mailing it forward, but are there any other questions on that? Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion for ordinance number 1162.
Motion to approve ordinance 1162.
The motion approved by Vice Mayor Chauncey and the second by Councilmember Cagle. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Milden.
Vice Mayor Chauncey, Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton, Councilmember Witt, yes, Mayor Williams.
Yes. Ordinance 1162 passed second and final reading. We'll move to item D, ordinance number 1163.
An ordinance to submit in referendum to the people of East Ridge, Tennessee, the question of amending the charter of the city of East Ridge by amending section 16B2 of the charter to provide that the city court clerk is appointed by the city manager to remove the city residency, registered voter requirement, and to remove the term of the city court clerk. Second and final reading.
Thank you, sir. I'll entertain a motion for ordinance number 1163. A motion to approve by Councilmember Helton and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion?
I believe it's April 14th, so we're in plenty of time. They'd like to get it as soon as possible.
Yeah. So this can be done, if passed tonight, then it should be in there, if not, the end of this week, early next. Any other discussion?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We're going to have it on August 4th ballot deadlines to pick up papers for Court Clerk to run. That's not passed.
Actually, if I may, I actually talked to Scott Allen at the Election Commission about that very subject today, about how that would all work out. And I don't know the exact dates, but this will flow. It's sometime, I think it's near the end of June, you can start picking up the qualifying petitions, if I say it right. They have to be turned in by August 18th. Now, what they would do is, as people started turning in these petitions, to be able to run, they would be put under notice that it becomes dependent upon what happens for the vote of the referendum on August 4th. So if the referendum passed, then there would be no election in November for that, and so they would deny the petitions. But if it fails, then obviously the election would go forward, and people still would have till August 18th to turn in their petitions.
Yeah, I would hope they'd actually notify them on the front end when they pick up their petitions that that's a chance. Okay. And then probably circle back when they turn it in. Any other questions? All right. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey. Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Helton. Councilmember Witt. Yes. Mayor Williams.
Yes. Ordinance 1163 passed, second and final reading. We'll move to new business. Item A, resolution number 3249.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the city to donate $500 to East Ridge Teacher Appreciation.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. As you all know, each year we have $2,000 budgeted to support each of our four local schools with $500 for each school. Mr. Moreno, the principal at East Ridge High School, reached out to us with his request. He would like to use the funds to encourage his staff and teachers for all that they do for their students during Teacher Appreciation Week. As you know, the last couple of years have been extremely hard on all their education staff as they continue to work with our children during the pandemic. I ask that you approve the $500 donation for East Ridge High School.
Thanks, sir. I'll entertain a motion for resolution 3249.
Second.
A motion approved by Vice Mayor Chauncey and a second by Councilmember Cagle. Do we have any discussion? See none, roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Helton. Councilmember Witt. Mayor.
Yes. Resolution 3249 passed. We'll move to item B, resolution 3250.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to waive the fee for use of Camp Jordan Arena by East Ridge Elementary School for their 5th grade graduation.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Dorsey? Oh. Styles.
Has Ms. Skiles come up and talk about this, please?
Hello, Shauna Skiles, and I'm Director of East Ridge Parks and Rec. So East Ridge Elementary School reached out to us about using May 24th from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. for their 5th grade promotion. Staff's recommendation to approve this usage for free for them and waive our fees.
Thank you. We'll entertain a motion for resolution 3250.
Motion to approve 3250.
Second.
A motion approved by Councilmember Cagle and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? See none, roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey. Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Helton. Councilmember Witt. Yes. Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution 3250 passed. We'll move to item C, resolution 3251.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, approving a temporary use permit for the East Ridge Needy Child Fund outdoor sale fundraiser in the parking lot of the East Ridge Antique Mall.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Child?
That's correct, Mayor and Council. This will be a temporary use permit for the Needy Child Fund to operate at 6501 Slater Road. Operations will take place in the Antique District parking lot on May the 7th, 2022 from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Vendor spaces at that spot will be $25 per spot with 50 spots available. All the proceeds from the vendor rentals will go to the Needy Child Fund.
Thank you, sir. I'll entertain a motion for resolution 3251.
Second.
A motion to approve by Councilmember Helton and a second by Vice Mayor Chauncey. Do you need discussion?
I do have the letter from the property owner granting him permission to use the property.
Thank you, sir.
I think Mr. Howell just fixed the mic.
Good deal. You're gonna have to stand
We'll
up
talk about
there.
just compensation later.
I'll say that I was approached by this, and I'm very excited that this is going to hopefully occur. And this is a great program, a great the East Ridge East Ridge Needy Child Fund does some great things for our city, for our citizens, and we appreciate them very much. So, roll call. We need another discussion. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Helton.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution 3251 passed. We'll move to item D, resolution 3252.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the mayor to execute the Camp Jordan Parkway maintenance contract with Wolfteaver Development LLC.
Thank you, sir. Mr.
Thank you,
Dorsey?
Mayor. City of East Ridge and Wolfteaver Development, they desire to enter into a maintenance agreement related to Camp Jordan Parkway for the servicing and lawn care of the grass and landscape area that's adjacent to it, as well as the grass median that runs along Camp Jordan Parkway. And this goes from the intersection of Ringo Road all the way to the West Chickamauga Creek Bridge. There's no charge to the city for them performing the service. So just basically taking over all the generalized maintenance for that whole stretch. And I believe you all have a copy of the agreement that we have with them, would like to have with them.
Thank you, sir. I'll entertain a motion for resolution 3252.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Councilmember Helton and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Millen.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton, Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. That concludes all of the agenda items for the agenda. The next item we have is a discussion of our tentative agenda for April 14th. First item of business is our employee milestone awards for March. We have two employees that will reach a employee milestone. One is 10 years and one is 20 years. So we're appreciative of that. They'll be recognized in the next council meeting. Then under old business, we have ordinance number 1160. That will be not the second and final reading. That was tabled. So that is tabled until the April 14th meeting. Any discussion on that item, council? I see none. We'll move to new business. We have a unnumbered resolution, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge approving an appointment by Vice Mayor Chauncey to the East Ridge Board of Zoning Appeals. So that'll be appointment that'll be awaiting your appointment. The next item is another unnumbered resolution, and that's a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge approving the appointment by Councilmember Cagle to the East Ridge Board of Zoning Appeals. So they will have two appointments for the Zoning Appeals Board for next council meeting. Any discussion on those? All right. The next item would be a public hearing for an unnumbered resolution. It is a sign variance request for 6801 Ringo Road. And then following that is the unnumbered resolution for the actual sign variance itself for 6801 Ringo Road. Mr. Howell?
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is for the Town Place Inn and Suites. Due to the large right-of-way, the T-Dot right-of-way down there at 15 feet, and the sign being at 49 square feet, it would put the setback of that sign with our sign ordinance 15 foot back from the property line. With the additional right-of-way, that's almost 30 feet back. So they're requesting a 0 setback on that sign to push it right up onto the property line. You guys do have a site plan on there showing item C there, how close the sign would be. And also due to the topography coming in from Georgia, you have some wooded area there that would be place that sign hard to see from people traveling from Georgia into Tennessee.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Council, any discussion?
Yeah, can you explain to a little bit more detail about where the sign is wanting to be put exactly?
Yeah, so it's right at the drive entrance to the Town Place Inn and Suites.
The one that's on Frawley Road.
No, this on Ringo Road. I'm sorry,
Okay.
6801 Ringo Road. Yes.
Okay.
So from my understanding, that's going to be a new entrance. Is that correct?
That will be the entrance to the Town
That'll
Place
be-
Inn and
yes.
Suites.
So it's going to be, so you're going to be going, turning left up into the town suites off of Ringo Road? There on the
Yes,
side of that hillside?
you'd be turning left going into, yeah, coming from the Interstate 75. Yes, you would turn left and right coming from Georgia.
They're wanting to put the sign right next to the sidewalk there at the or the property line?
No, sir, Mr. Cagle, if you look at that site plan that you have there, there's a,
Site plan don't mean much to me.
there's a very large right of way there from from the rear of the sidewalk to the property line. It's right at 15 feet. And the monument sign itself being 49 square feet automatically requires it set back another 15 feet additional from the property line. They're wanting to take that sign and push it right up onto the property line. So you'd still have a 15-foot setback. It's just off T-dot right away, but it's sitting on the property line.
Do I assume that right away got so large because that's when they reconfigured the intersection of Frawley Road at Ringgold?
Yes. Yeah.
About the height.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
So all of the sign requirement, it meets all of their sign requirements, height wise and square footage wise. So the only thing they're requesting is a setback variance.
A 9-foot
Yes, sir.
monument sign.
Yes, sir. 9 foot and 49 foot square foot on it.
So you may have said this, but I don't remember. So how far will that sign be from the actual intersection? So if I'm pulling out of Town Place Suites and I pull up there to turn right or turn left, how far back is that sign going to be? It's not going to impede my vision.
It's not. So that site distance
Traffic.
there, yeah, you have that 15-foot buffer still from the back of the sidewalk to the
To
property.
the back of
line.
the sidewalk,
Yes. So
Okay.
that sign's still going to be 15 foot back.
plus the sidewalk to the road, to the right of way. Okay.
Exactly. Yes.
So it's every bit of probably close to 20,
Something like that.
something
Yeah.
like
I
that.
did,
Something like that.
I did a-
From the curb, yes,
Yeah, I
from the
did a
curb.
rough measurement off GIS.
Okay.
It was somewhere around.
Yeah, I just wanted a general idea. Any other questions? All right. And then we'll have added on to new business is the discussion or take action on the judge compensation. We'll add that as well under new business. Is there any other business, council, that,
Judge's compensation.
yes,
City manager going to decide that, or is he going to bring in a proposal that he's asking for?
That wouldn't be my decision. That because I believe there's going to have to be, whenever an amount's decided on, there'd be a resolution for that.
Correct.
That would say that it would take effect after the next election, blah, blah, blah.
correct.
So that wouldn't be my decision. That would be a discussion among the council.
Proposal to us, what he's wanting to raise his salary to? Or are we going to have a salary
He
here
has-
to offer him? That's what I'm asking.
Well, it's not given it's his. He still he still has to run for it and be elected.
I understand
But
that.
he has provided some information to me, which we can also have him share with y'all what his thoughts were for that compensation and the work that he conducts.
Have to be showed to me before I vote on it.
Agreed. So that's when we'll have the discussion and we'll decide.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can reach out and see if he'll share that information and what he thinks, and then we can decide. Any other questions? All right.